Extortion is a workplace bullying technique that I coined to encompass all of the ways in which workplace bullies literally steal from you. Yes, they do. However, stealing is something associated with workplace bullying more often, I find, by people who are less educated and less informed about what workplace bullying really is. In my experience, stealing or extortion is extremely rare compared to all of the other many workplace bullying techniques that I have identified and that workplace bullies have at their disposal, because stealing is so overt. The whole point of workplace bullying is that it needs to be as indirect, subtle, and passive-aggressive as possible, so the workplace bullies can never be called on their behavior and it can never get back to them. Workplace bullies, as narcissists, care about one thing and only one thing in this life or in this world, and that is their image, their reputation, what other people think of them, and what they look like to other people. So the biggest fear of the narcissistic workplace bully is exposure. Workplace bullies almost never do anything that can get them into trouble, get them fired, or worse, get them arrested, and committing an actual crime would fall into that category. There are no laws against workplace bullying, and I do not have hope that there ever will be. So workplace bullying is not a crime, but extortion is one way in which workplace bullying can be illegal. Because workplace bullies fear exposure, the things that they most often steal are the most intangible. The easiest thing for workplace bullies to steal is your time, asking you to work too much, overtime, very long hours, very late into the night or on weekends, or simply holding out the expectation that you are perfectly willing to fulfill tasks, undergo training, run errands, and even make trips in your own vehicle using your own gas, incurring wear, tear, and mileage on your vehicle without pay on a volunteer basis. It's easier to do this to you when you are salaried and not earning an hourly wage. However, asking people to work too much is, again, something that is immediately associated with workplace bullying by people who really don't know very much about workplace bullying. It pales in comparison to all of the other workplace bullying techniques. And I feel that asking people to work long hours is not so much a form of bullying as a very unfortunate byproduct of capitalistic greed. Another thing that workplace bullies steal is your ideas. Workplace bullies, like all narcissists, love to pass off other people's ideas and even their jokes as their own, without attribution or credit. In fact, psychologists have found this is a common component of sexual harassment. Workplace sexual harassers steal the ideas of their victims and then pass off those ideas as their own, again, without attribution or credit. Another thing that workplace bullies steal is your energy. I have a theory that most targets of workplace bullying are empaths, or at the very least, highly sensitive people. So if you are a target of workplace bullying, you speak the language of energy, and you can feel and read energy. And when it comes to workplace bullies, you can just feel this nasty taking energy. And that's how you know that you have what is called a psychic or energy vampire on your hands. When workplace bullying crosses the line into actual criminality, workplace bullies can and do steal your literal, material, physical possessions, taking office supplies out of your workspace without consent or permission, and without returning or replacing those supplies. Workplace bullies can take your food out of the refrigerator and eat it. Some workplace bullies demand money from you for bogus charitable causes such as drives or group gifts, only to pocket that money for themselves. And yes, some workplace bullies do steal your personal possessions, such as pieces of jewelry and items of clothing. The sickest and most mentally ill of workplace bullies will steal anything they can get their hands on because you have left it out unattended. More often, I find workplace bullies, instead of stealing your stuff, really like to touch and move it, such as your purse, because they know that it annoys you, which is another workplace bullying technique, the technique of physical violence, because it's a boundary violation and a violation and invasion of your personal and physical space. Why do workplace bullies steal from you? Well, that's easy. The answer is only one word: narcissism. Narcissists are takers. Narcissism is defined by many things, and some of those things are a lack of boundaries, entitlement, pathological jealousy, and emptiness. And all of that combined lends itself perfectly to the narcissistic kleptomania that goes down in the workplace. Sufferers of other mental illnesses may have poor boundaries, but narcissists have no boundaries. They don't see a distinction between themselves and other people. And they see absolutely nothing wrong with taking your stuff because they don't consider it yours. They consider it theirs. They are entitled. Narcissists feel more deserving of your blessings than you are, because they don't see all of the hard work that you've done to earn those blessings, including in past lives. The reason that we have certain talents, skills, and abilities in this lifetime is that we've worked on them over previous lifetimes. Mariah Carey is a good singer in this lifetime, but maybe in past lifetimes she wasn't. Maybe she was a bad singer or a mediocre singer or just really wanted to be a singer. But she put in the work and she earned her blessing. And talent doesn't have to be just artistic talent. Maybe you have a talent for raising children, or a green thumb, or you're a really good friend. But whatever your blessings are, you've earned them in past lives and in this lifetime by doing the one thing that no narcissist will ever be capable of doing, and that's the inner work. When workplace bullies see your blessings, it's like, well, why does she have X, Y, and Z? I deserve them more because I work harder. And that's because workplace bullies understand only the literal meaning of work. Workplace bullies also love to accuse you of being quote unquote lazy because they get up earlier, all while they have consistently refused to do the only work that matters in this lifetime or in any other. And that is the real, hard, deep, emotional, and spiritual work that we do internally on ourselves. Workplace bullies feel you don't deserve your blessings because they don't see you crying on the floor right in front of them. I've often asked myself why workplace bullies are so consistently enabled. I used to think it was because people were afraid of them, because that's what bullies want. It isn't. People feel sorry for them, and that's because workplace bullies use narcissistic charm to whip up a sob story to elicit sympathy from managers, higher-ups, and people who matter. It's like buying protection from the mafia so they can get away with their appalling behavior. And it's almost always one of the big three. I'm a single parent, I'm taking care of an aging parent, or I'm putting myself through school. Everybody else in the workplace has similar challenges, struggles, and difficulties, but you never hear about them unless you ask them. If you are not a narcissist and not a bully, you don't need to make people feel sorry for you, because you know the hard work that you have done to earn your blessings. A word on the pathological jealousy of narcissistic workplace bullies. This is not envy, which can be a healthy desire to emulate another person's good qualities, and it certainly is not admiration. When narcissists look at what you have, all they see is that they don't have it. Whatever you have, I don't have. And this can extend to your literal physical life. If you exist, then I don't exist. If you have a Ferrari, all the narcissist knows is that he doesn't. The narcissist has a garage full of a Tesla, a Ferrari, and a Lamborghini. But if you pull up in a Mercedes, it's nothing but outrage. How dare you? How dare you have a Mercedes? Because that means that I don't have a Mercedes. Anyone who's ever dealt with a narcissist has complained that they feel as though they are dealing with a 3-year-old child, and children are not rational. The utter irrationality of the pathological jealousy of narcissists is so maddening, it will drive you literally insane. This is a woman with a husband and family of her own who lives in a 5-bedroom house in one of the most expensive areas of the country, who is jealous of a single woman who lives alone in a 1-bedroom apartment. When's the last time you heard of someone who lives in a house who's jealous of someone who lives in an apartment? Narcissists don't share, they don't play well with others, and they don't wait their turn. All lessons that you and I learned when we were in kindergarten. It's like, you're getting attention now, but little Johnny can get attention after that, and little Bobby can get attention after that. If you're getting attention, all the narcissistic workplace bully knows is that he is not getting attention. If you see someone with a Ferrari, you have some options. You can go get your own damn Ferrari. You can go get a Tesla. You can acknowledge and even admire the Ferrari if you want to before getting into your own car. Alternatively, you cannot see the Ferrari at all because you're doing you and you're too focused on your own blessings. Every human being on the planet has both Saturn and Jupiter in his or her natal or birth chart. So everyone has karma and blessings, and the way that we earn our blessings is nobody's fucking business. Kylie Jenner's a billionaire. Good for her. That is the only response that you are allowed. And no, we're not going to get into yeah, but excuses to derogate her to make ourselves feel better. She has that blessing because her soul decided that it needs that blessing to do what she needs to do in this lifetime. At its core, jealousy is a lack of gratitude. I firmly believe that no one can be jealous and grateful at the same time. If you are jealous of another human being, you are an ungrateful, disrespectful, rude, lazy, entitled, narcissistic, spoiled brat. If you don't give gratitude to the Creator for your blessings, He takes them all away from you. Narcissistic workplace bullies who steal from you should be prepared to lose everything. Workplace bullies have to take from you because that's the only way they can fill the void. Narcissism remains poorly understood by many people, including mental health professionals. Narcissism is not arrogance or confidence, and a narcissist is not some guy who looks good. Narcissism is this emptiness. It's just like, dude, do you have anything interesting to talk about? When you're standing in the same room with a narcissist, you are standing on the edge, the precipice, looking out over the abyss, into the black hole, the bottomless pit of their insatiable greed. Nature abhors a vacuum, and that's exactly how it feels. It's horrifying. And sometimes you can see the emptiness when you look into their eyes, which is terrifying. Narcissists have to take from other people because they cannot create anything. You can create because you are fashioned in the image of the Creator and are imbued with the Holy Spirit, which is creativity. The universe is infinite and God provides, so there is always more where that came from. You have retained your ability to get what you need from God. A narcissist is at the core a dead and empty soul that is completely disconnected, severed, and separated from Source, and can only gratify his completely irrational desires by taking from other people. And it's never enough. The narcissist is trying to buy milk at the liquor store. Narcissists cannot self-create, self-generate, or self-anything because they don't have selves. These are people who have given up on themselves. One of my theories about workplace bullying is that it is spiritual warfare. And I believe the only way to ever address the problem is spiritually. Some people in the narcissism community believe there is something spiritual going on there, such as full-blown, straight-up demonic possession. Evil is jealousy. Satan is jealous of us because we are loved unconditionally by God, and he is not. In the New Age community, evil is no longer considered fashionable. But based on what I have seen after over 2 decades of being bullied in the workplace, if you don't believe in evil, then it believes in you. So that's an introduction to the workplace bullying technique of extortion. To read more in detail, I've written an essay on workplace bullying. It's on my website, and I include that information in the description. The reason I create this video series is to establish a forum where targets of workplace bullying can share their experiences and stories in a kind of support group. So you can know, number one, you're not crazy. Workplace bullying is real. And your feelings are perfectly valid and justified. And number two, you're not alone. Unfortunately, countless others have experienced the same thing. So I look forward to reading your comments, and I promise to try to respond to each one. Take care.